Hey guys, what's up? Switch us. Yeah, right to there. What is up, guys? This is the Battlewatch podcast. We are doing episode 19 today. 19 instead of 18. And we will be talking about Junkrat. If you guys have been listening along or following along with the whole Halloween terror that Overwatch has released and Blizzard released, Junkrat is a main focus in this, and we figured we'd kick it off with changing up our overlay and changing up everything when we started talking about them. So without further ado, if anybody has any questions, comments, anybody wants to add anything or take out anything that we do or we don't do, please feel free to find us on Twitter at dr4g3n or our Facebook group, which is the Battlewatch. I almost forgot what it was. And it's on Facebook. It's a closed group, but we will admit you as soon as you join. I think I have to mod you, actually, Steppy. I don't know if I modded you yet. Like, so that you...
I wouldn't know.
So that when people join the group, you could be like, oh yeah, proof. But either way, speaking of... Steppy is one of the Battlewatch commanders on the Overwatch podcast, and how you been, man?
Yeah, not too bad.
So I think we should do a little different. I've been listening to podcasts over the course of the past week, and I think we should do something different because I think we've got a pretty good revolving door basically here, but I think that we should say like what we've been up to in our personal lives. Like, so how was your last week? Was it good? Did you get time to play any Overwatch? Were you playing any other games, stuff like that?
No, not really. I've just been lazy. I've just been watching TV shows, really. That's it.
Yeah, I saw...
I don't like playing Overwatch without other people.
Yeah, I'm with you. We will get into that when we go into the question for the crew. But myself, I've been working a lot since I came back from my hiatus. Work has been pretty hectic, and then on my off days, I've got my daughter, so I've been hanging out with her. And I think I touched Overwatch a couple times. I was able to get the achievement for medium difficulty in Overwatch, so I've got every achievement, and the one big one is take no damage on medium difficulty, and coordinating that with a team is ridiculous. But yeah, it was fun. I've got that on one of my streams that I did previously. It should be the video before this one or the one prior, and if it isn't, then I'm going to try and release just one of the clip of that one happening. I played Hanzo every time. For some reason, people don't like to pick Hanzo. Do you see that? I see that it's like a...
Hanzo gets picked first when I...
That's weird.
When I play it.
For some reason, in the American servers, it's like McCree Ana really fast, and then Soldier and Hanzo are just like sitting there, and somebody picks Soldier. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll play Hanzo. It's not a big deal.
Soldier's really bad on that, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree. His ult does nothing, basically. And he, like, unless you have headshot awareness, like you're always hitting the headshots, then he's not really doing much damage. Now, moving on to the question for the crew that we were talking about. Oh, as you guys noticed, Mark is not here. He will be with us later this week. We're going to try and do 2 episodes this week. Steve, what's up? Steve said hola in the chat. How you been, man? It's been a while, actually. I haven't seen him in the chat or streaming in a while, so let us know what's up as we continue with the podcast. The question for the crew is, and Steve, feel free to answer this, what could Blizzard do to make you want to play competitive every time you log on? So, Steppy, I'm going to roll this over to you first.
Honestly, I don't know, like... There's, like, if I log on to Overwatch, like, yeah. I want to play competitive, but because solo queue sucks so bad, like, I don't want to.
Okay.
The quick play is kind of just like whatever you want to pick, and like half the time you never get a proper team comp. Like, yeah, I don't know. There's not really much that they can do, if you ask me. Like,
so
you just gotta really like the game, and that's it, I guess. Like,
all right. So Steppy mentioned a few big points that I wanted to mention as well. One, playing solo queue is not what anybody wants to do at the moment. There's a ton of streams that solo queue, and it makes people feel better about it, but it's not something that's conducive, because if you play with a streamer, streamers usually play with other streamers, and they're either high ranked or they're very entertaining, so it doesn't really matter what they score, and they're not going to get frustrated. But when other people play with solo queue players, they feel like, okay, I've lost already, and that's already bringing your morale down. So that's the first thing. The other part of it is that when Steppy and I play, we're in different parts of the world, so we have to deal with either he gets a 200 ping or I get a 200 ping, or every once in a while we get like I get an 80 and you get a 150 or 130. What was it? mute pod? I didn't hear it.
No, I'm talking. I must just be lagging. Like,
that's weird. So yeah, it's all because of Steppy. He's lagging over and over again. But no, so that's one thing on my end. Another thing on my end is the fact that when you win a game, and I've been tracking every time I've won and lost, when you win a game, because of what people have broken down, like the algorithm, and figured out that if you win a game and you're placed in a lower bracket according to Overwatch based on your previous season, then you're not going to win as much, because they're trying to keep everybody where they were last season, which I don't agree with. The second thing is, if you lose a game, then if you're above your bracket that you were last season, then you're going to lose a dramatic amount of points, and that sucks, because nobody wants to lose a lot of points in this game. Obviously, there's going to be players that just climb the ladder over and over again because either they group with a team of 6, or they're professional, or they're streamers that are very good, but it pushes people away from playing that competitive. And because there is a competitive and people mess around on quick play, it's going to push people away from the game entirely, because nobody wants to go into a quick play and be like, yay, I can do really well here, but I can't do anything in competitive. It just doesn't feel good when you're doing something like that. So that being said, those are my thoughts. Hopefully Blizzard can figure out a way to not make people lose as much, or figure out a way to explain the process so that more people can be like, okay, I get it. So
in my opinion, maybe one thing that they could do is just like everyone gets roughly the same amount of points for a win and a loss. Like, obviously if your MMR's high, you might get like a little bit more, but maybe not like 10, 15 more. Like, yeah. I don't know, it feels less rewarding if you're in a lower bracket.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So Steve said that he's going to go back to Rocket League. That stinks, man. Stinks to hear. Wish you were on the Overwatch bandwagon, because I would love to play with my cousin, but if you don't, that's all good. There's plenty of people to play with. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they do something to fix it. Moving on, our major story, we normally do a weekly update, but nothing has really changed in the past, what's it been, 5 or 6 days? Basically, we did it on Monday. Yeah. So nothing has changed in 5 days. We might get some more stuff. A lot of people are talking about patches that were happening on the PTR, but I didn't receive anything today when I logged on, so maybe it was just updates from before. Remember, everybody, that the Halloween Terror event is going to end on November 1st, so obviously we should be looking to get changes there, because they're going to take this away. Probably add small things or add adjustments to characters so that people will feel fresh going back to competitive, because I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of people playing the Brawl or talking about the Brawl more than competitive lately.
Yeah, for sure. Because the thieves are fun and it's challenging.
Yeah, and it's a game that's focused around PvP. It's one of the only things that's offered in PvE, so it's really different. We will be talking about Junkrat today. First thing we're going to do is go over his abilities as usual, and then we will be moving on to if you should play him in competitive and where he is good. So first thing first, his weapon is the frag launcher, a bouncing explosive projectile weapon. Those of you that have played the Team Fortress 2, he is very much like the Demo Man. He is basically a demolitions expert. What do you think about his fragment? Like, how do you like his weapon? I know that you're an avid Junkrat player. So much that you bought the new skin for him.
Shut up. Yeah, he's all right. Like, it's not like Pharah where you kind of just shoot the ground and then deal damage. Like, you kind of have to aim, and you have like trajectories off walls to like adjust to, and like if they're in a close like quarters, you can shoot the ceiling and then get grenades to bounce on top of them like that. Like, there's a lot of nifty things that you can do with his weapon, and like if someone's up high, you can't just shoot up like that high because obviously the grenades drop. So like there's a lot of trajectory sensors that you have to take into account.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm shooting him at this second floor bridge, and I can't get him over it, and they're just bouncing back at me. There we go. There goes one.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to shoot like the high parts.
Yeah, so one thing to be aware, guys, no matter where you shoot, the bullets don't dissipate after a certain amount of distance. They just keep going. Like, if you shoot it basically straight up, they're going to come back down eventually. Like, obviously,
yeah, I think they always explode after 3 bounces, or unless they make contact.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's either 2 or 3 bounces they are guaranteed to explode.
Gotcha. Gotcha, Steve. So
yeah, it's 3.
Okay. So yeah, he's a very fun character to play. Moving on. We always skip his ultimate, so we're going straight to the secondary. His concussion main, his left shift is throw a knockback mine with left shift and detonate with right click. So the first time I played him, I was like, oh crap, I threw it out, and I was like, how do I explode it? So I kept shooting with my right. I was pressing R, but I was reloading instead. I was trying to hit spacebar over and over again, and yeah, it's just that you hit the right click and people take damage. The good thing
actually does like 120 damage.
Yeah, it's insane. The good thing about this is where he gets his mobility. So you can use Junkrat to get around to places by using his left click, his concussion mine, because of the fact that he doesn't take any damage from this mine, which is pretty impressive. So I believe...
And I might add too, like, I think they've increased how high you can jump without putting it in the patch notes. Unless they did, because when I was playing him the other day, the height I was getting was not how much that I remember it being. Like, I felt like I was jumping so high with him.
Yeah,
so I think they increased that without mentioning it.
He gets pretty high. I can jump to the second bridge in the training grounds.
Yeah, dude, you'll never be able to jump that high, I'm telling you.
Yeah, so that's pretty impressive. Again, depending on where you put this concussion, like, we could talk about this concussion mine all day, because of the fact that depending on where you're standing on it is where it will push you. So I'm standing directly below it, but if I'm in any direction other than right on top of it, it's going to push me in that direction. So I feel like I'm directly on top of it, and it pushed me forward. So I must have been forward to the center of it, like a very minuscule hair.
Are you jumping before you explode it?
I do. Do you?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So that's a little tip. So if I don't jump, we'll see what happens. See, it looks like I'm not on top of it now. It just shoots me in that direction, and it's very, very small. So if you're running forward, it'll project you, but again, it's not going to project you to the height that you want to be unless there's unless you use that initial jump, because of the fact that it's going to capitalize on the distance you have already moved. And if you're continually moving, then I'm trying to sound like scientific about this, but it's not going to come out right. So if the trajectory you're moving is going to continue pushing you in that elevation, and it's going to catapult you that much further. Moving on to his third, the steel trap. This is another amazing ability. This character, like Junkrat, has probably got to be the most versatile character in the game, or one of, because of all the different things he can do. I don't know if you can trap. Oh, you can. Okay, so you can trap the training bots. That was something I was unaware of. But a better way to do this is to demonstrate our own training bots that move. So if I lay the trap down, you see that he gets locked there, and it locks him in place. It also does, that was about 25% of his health, and he gives you ample time to just be able to take him out. Take him out. You can,
the trap's for like 3 seconds or something. It's ages.
yeah. Going back to the concussion mine, don't forget that you can launch these in different directions because of the fact that wherever you're going, it's going to move like you're throwing something in that direction. If you just hit it standing still or not jumping, you're just going to throw it right down on the ground. Okay, so let's lay the trap again. We're going to see it trigger. You can even kill the enemies with your concussion mine as well. So
Do you want to put the concussion mine in the trap as well?
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. All right, concussion mine in the trap. Triggered.
This is a great way to get a kill at the start of the game too. If you drop your mine down in the trap at the door, and generally, like, if a low health person runs onto it, they will die instantly.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I'll try and get over to here so that we can demonstrate exactly what Steppy is talking about. So at the beginning of the game, get out of here. At the beginning of the game, you throw both down, and you can go behind a wall and still see your trap from any direction. As soon as it goes red and is triggered, you right click and you can kill the enemy. So that is, like Steppy mentioned, a very good way to start out your game. My shirt says, don't let the pretty face fool you, I'm a beast.
Okay.
But yeah, we are going to be playing after this, Steve, probably 2 or 3 games. Alright, so moving on to the third ability. His passive is Total Mayhem. I don't know how I can display this other than like you killing me in a custom game.
Jump off the edge and you'll still see it.
Alright, I'll just...
Where you die, you'll just have to, like...
Yeah, I'll just take the damage from these guys.
Yeah, all that, there you go.
So, I'm about to die. Total Mayhem, let's read it out, is drop bombs on death. So you see those bombs go off. The training bot died because of it. This is a big thing to take advantage of characters such as tanks, Reinhardt's. I've been destroyed by this a numerous amount of times. If you know you're going to die, a quick trick is to throw a trap right at your feet, because anybody around you is going to be pulled in and then take the damage from those bombs as well. But that's like one of those pro level, like, if you know you're going to die, then you're pretty awesome if you can throw a trap at your feet at the same time. But finally, his ultimate is Riptire. So this is the one everybody wants to see. We've been seeing it a lot lately because it's in the new Brawl. And yeah, it is martyrdom from Call of Duty. That's a good way to put it, if there's those Call of Duty players out there. So you hit your ultimate button, he throws his Riptire, and you're basically in control of this tire for 10 seconds. You can jump it, you can go up walls, you can go around buildings, and you have to detonate it within those 10 seconds. If you do not, it automatically detonates and deals a blast to the radius of, I believe it's 5 yards around you, around the middle of it.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
There's, like, Steppy, I believe you've gotten like 5 shots, right? Or 5 kills with this thing at times?
Yes, once or twice, yes.
What else?
The thing to know too is it's very weak in the sense that it can get killed quickly.
Oh yeah.
It only has like, what is it, 100 hit points? Or,
I think it
yeah,
displays. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. But if it displays it, then I'll be able to show you guys. Alright, so I'm gonna set it off. I'm also going to show you the other guys. The other thing you guys need to pay attention to. Your character is still during this, so make sure you hide when something like this is going off. So I just got a triple kill off of that, and it's 100 hit points on it.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing to note is taking damage from your own blast can deal a significant amount. I almost took I took 31 points of damage on that. So make sure as a Junkrat, because he's a defensive character as well, that you want to stay in the right area, and you want to be able to just take advantage of where people are going to go, anticipating them, shooting projectiles up stairways, down stairways, wherever the choke points are. What else? With the concussion mine, you can place it against ceilings or on doorways as people are walking in. A lot of people don't like to check behind them, especially if there's not a Symmetra on the opposite team, so you can still deal damage as they're walking up the wall. It's very surprising to characters, that especially characters like Tracer that have no idea that it's there, but they can see you at the other end and they're like, oh, I'm gonna kill that Junkrat quite easily, let me walk inside this, boom, they're dead. And go ahead, what were you gonna say?
I'm trying to remember, I had something and then I lost it.
Okay. We're gonna give you guys the tip of the week a little early. Oh, that's not going to happen inside the base. But the tip of the week is going to be something about Junkrat, and that will come in a couple seconds.
No, you said it. Oh my god, you're a nub.
What? Oh, you saw that I did it in the base. Okay, so I'm using my ultimate, and if you do it around yourself, you die. That's what I could have done for the passive. The total mayhem. I should have just killed myself. So yeah, tip of the week is Junkrat can kill himself with his own tire. This is good and bad on a couple aspects. Now, a pro tip that I can give you guys is I've been seeing a lot of pros, if they know that they're going into a bad situation or they're going to die, they jump off the map or they kill themselves because they don't want the enemies to get more ultimate charge. And it makes a lot of sense for tanks, and it makes a lot of sense for characters like Junkrat that can also kill an enemy player if they're going to kill themselves. So killing a Junkrat with a Tracer will probably give her about 20 to 30 ultimate charge, and granted, if she gets like headshots or if she's very accurate, and if you're able to hit your junk tire and you see that she's going straight for you, you can go back to yourself, kill her, and then she won't have that ultimate charge, and you've also you've done a 1-for-1 for your team, so you guys are still even and don't have to worry about anything else going wrong. One more thing of note with the Rip Tire is that once you hit that ultimate, the entire map knows that has gone off for two reasons. One, the trigger that he says is said over both sides, or it's a different word. Do you remember what the wording is for the enemy?
One's like fire in the hole, and I think that's for your team.
Okay.
And
the other one's like
enemy, I don't remember.
The other one's like let it rip or something.
Yeah, I think it's let it rip. Yeah.
So if you hear let it rip on the
Beyblade reference check.
Yeah. So if you hear let it rip on the opposite team, you're going to know that a Junkrat on the enemy team has set off his Rip Tire. That being said, a Junkrat just saying that can send people scattering, because people don't want to be grouped up, because they don't want to have multiple kills on their side. It can also send people looking away from your teammates because of the fact that they're looking more for that Rip Tire, because it's going to do more damage than a Tracer or a Ana or a McCree firing at them. And now a lot of the time that's not the case, because if they look away and they have a Reaper coming up to them, and the Reaper's going to do more damage than the Riptire, and you've caused your team to capitalize on that situation just from using your ultimate. If, as the tire gets closer and closer, a sound effect starts happening where it sounds like a engine revving, and it's the tire moving closer and closer, and the closer it gets, the louder it gets. Because of that, it's also something that you can take advantage of if you know that the enemy's coming through a choke point and you shoot your Riptire. First of all, they're not going to walk through that choke point until that's down. Second of all, because of the fact that you can use your Riptire and just have it keep spinning for 10 full seconds. Okay, man. Good night, dude. But text yes. Yeah, I'll be on Wednesday. So yeah, if it keeps spinning and spinning for 10 seconds, you can get them scared enough to them not running through the door at all, or the fact that they will just wait until the 10 seconds have passed, which is a long time in a competitive game. It's plenty of time for your teammates to get back into the fray. It's plenty of time for your teammates to keep setting up their ultimates or getting well positioned. So take advantage of trying to scare people with the sound effects that you have available to you and the ones that are supplied by the Junkrat. Now, what are your thoughts on his competitive viability, Jess?
I still see people complain that they pick Junkrat, but this season I've seen him a lot more than last season.
Yes.
A lot more, like tons and tons more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why that is. There was no changes until like last week. So
you're talking about the update to his Riptire?
Riptire, which is amazing, but yeah, other than that, I don't know why he's more prominent this season. But also this season there's different, like in Numbani, for instance, like people go top left all the time. So
yeah.
Junkrat can just shoot those grenades down the stairs. So, you know, there's a lot of differences to this season. And I think that's because people are watching the pro scene and see where pros go and stuff like that. So yeah, I reckon it is definitely viable, but, you know, obviously rarely, if not ever, on attack.
Yeah.
And small choke point maps like Numbani, and then you got Eichenwald, especially when there's only one way the whole team can come through.
Yeah, Eichenwald he's very good at. I've also noticed Dorado. Dorado, people pick him a lot on the defense points.
Places that you can, you know, come around from behind.
Yeah, so...
that's what I was going to mention before too. Also, if you have a Reinhardt charging right at you, you drop your trap and it will trap him. Now, same with the Genji dash. They fixed that a while ago, but you have practically no time with the Genji dash to put a trap down. But with the Reinhardt charge, you have time. So remember that will always trap a Reinhardt.
Yeah, but that's a very good point to make out, that they adjusted to where a Genji used to be able to dash through it, and it would just take it out because Genji does enough damage with his dash to take out a trap. But now it does damage to him. It sets off the trigger for the Junkrat, so you know where this Genji is, and you can tell your players where he is, as well as him being immobile and probably using his deflect, so that that's down by the time he gets into a big fight, you know? So yeah, speaking of, let's go over some of the characters that counter him. So, would you say Genji is a counter to Junkrat?
I would say anyone who can get him in a 1v1 situation, really, like anyone, if they're not trapped, like anyone can 1v1 him.
Yeah.
So he's not really good on his own, per se.
Mm-hmm.
So I could say, like, anyone counters him, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Because of the fact that he's a very ranged defensive character, he's one of these characters that deal area of effect damage with his weapon. He can be countered by a lot. He does really well against characters such as Bastions and Torbjorns because he takes
a second, dude.
Yeah, he does really well against Bastions or Torbjorns, so that they can't get very well set up, because by the time Torbjorn gets his turret set up, unless it's a very well positioned place, he's not going to be able to continue with that. And Junkrat just doesn't care where he shoots, basically. He can just lob. What did you always used to call him? You called him
Spam rat.
Yeah, Spam rat, because Steffi's exactly right. That's all he does. He shoots his frag launcher into open spots and just prays. So you spray and pray with Junkrat because of the, like, you know where they're going to be coming, so you can angle your weapons or you can angle your bombs, but most of the time you're going to be connecting to something. You're more or less going to be hitting something more than you miss it because of the fact that, one, you know where players are going to come, two, the tank's always in front and he is big enough to take any kind of area of effect damage, even if it's very small, and three, if you're playing against a Reinhardt, you just shred his shield down. So this is one of the characters that I hate to see being played against, especially in maps like Hanamura at the first point, because of the fact that you need to go through a doorway, and if Junkrat just continuously launches into that doorway, then my shield's going to go down more often than not. A lot of the maps, such as the capture point maps, he's very good at because he is just lobbing into a isolated area. And again, because Steppy mentioned, the balls are bouncing off of the walls and just dealing damage in that area the whole time. Now, who else? Who else is he good against? I've seen Junkrats get their ultimate in less than a minute in competitive games because of the fact that they're just lobbing into open areas and people are taking them. I've seen Steppy get kills in a matter of seconds as soon as the game started because of the trap, the grenades, and the concussion mine combos. And it's just one of those characters that you're always playing on defense and you're trying to harass the team and as you're harassing the team, your team's going to be doing better. Now, Steppy mentioned this briefly, but he shouldn't be played on attack, and this is going to be my opinion, but I think it's held very highly. He's a defensive character. He is not a character that you want to be pushing something with. He's not a character that you want to be necessarily taking points with, but I've seen him being played on certain maps of certain capture the point maps, and he's not very versatile other than the fact that he can jump to certain places, but then that's taking away one of his actual abilities. So most of the time you want to use that concussion grenade to get to places that can't be reached at the time. Other than that, that's Junkrat.
Probably the main thing to note too is all of his abilities can be destroyed. Every single one of his abilities can be destroyed.
That's a good point. Every one of them has a life point, basically like Symmetra's turrets, and they can be taken out. So, for instance, if I see a Junkrat setting up at the beginning of the door, like I mentioned, Steppy did, and takes people out, I can. So let's go to classic. I can take that out with a fire strike. I just tell everybody back up, Junkrat set up, fire strike, and those are 2 down, and I build my ultimate. So this is Junkrat classic look, and then we have the full that I was displaying earlier. We also have the toasted, which a lot of people like.
The Jester one was my favorite.
Oh, alright.
That was sick. I love the Jester one.
Yeah, so full and Jester. Jester's just got the royal colors on. We've got the Scarecrow looking, the Hayseed and Scarecrow. And then, as I just accidentally clicked on it, we have the Dr. Junkenstein, which you can buy for $3,000, and it looks awesome.
And you only get refunded $200 or 200 credits when you get it again.
If you get a duplicate. I was going to mention that. But, yeah, so one of the very cool things about Junkrat is every one of his costumes, the weapon you see on his back is the ultimate that you will see in the game. This is the actual wheel that will be spinning around. Dr. Junkenstein's is his Tesla coil one that will be spinning around, as well as the Fool with his sun and moon. I think that's good and bad. But yeah, that's Junkrat. He's a very fun character to play. He is enjoyable. A lot of people play him just for fun, but we'll let you make that choice. Got anything to add?
Nah, not really.
Alright, going on to shoutouts.
Wait, hold on.
Sure.
If you're playing Junkrat in competitive, just because you're first on damage,
This is a good
it doesn't
thing
mean
to
you're the best person on the team. I say this only because if your team's not getting kills, okay, just say they've got a Reinhardt and a Zarya, okay, you might be spamming your grenades into their shields. That's doing nothing for your team whatsoever. So if you're first on damage, so what? Please don't brag about that. I done 50,000 damage as Junkrat the other day, and I honestly was like, well, that was really easy. I didn't even try. Like, but our team was actually doing well, so, you know, what I just said doesn't really matter there. But just because you are first on damage and you're shooting shields, like, don't think that you're the best person on the team. Like, try switch to something that can get kills. That's probably my advice there.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good tip for the week, actually. We did the tip where Junkrat can kill himself with his Riptire, but another good tip is don't be afraid to switch your characters. Like, look at what your team has, look at what the enemy team has, kind of figure out what they need, and don't be afraid to evolve or change, because of the fact that, like Steppy said, a Junkrat just spamming a certain area, if the other team knows how to play around that, then you're not doing anything for your team. You're just gaining damage onto the damage boards. That's all. So, shoutouts. Steve dropped by earlier, so I'm going to give him a shout out. Twitch.tv/Legend of Steve. He says he's not going to be streaming anytime soon because he's trying to get FiOS. Kind of same in your boat, basically. And then, Mark, he was unable to find it to join us tonight, but he should be on Wednesday with us, and we will be streaming. We might just be streaming and playing, but we'll be streaming on Wednesday, and that will be either going over who's after Junk. Man, I gotta go back in. So,
He's in a Widowmaker?
oh man, I don't want to talk about her. I'm gonna be absent for that one. No, it's May. It's May. All right, I'll talk about May.
Okay.
So we got May next week, or midweek, or whatever you guys want to call him. But find Mark. His links into the description below, as well as Steppy's. Steppy, I'll let you give your Twitter information. If you guys want to find the Facebook group, again, I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but at the end, it's the Battlewatch. We are a closed group, but we'll approve you as soon as you sign on. And you can find me or message me anytime you want at dr4g3n. Feel free to just hit me up. What about you, man?
You can find me at Twitter at jsteppys or add me on Battle.net at steppy6649.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, follow. I think I'm getting this down. And I need to start making a credits, like this person made this, and this person was part of lighting. I'll be like, Samsung is my monitors, or something like that. But yeah, so we'll probably play a couple games and then head off. Peace, guys.